Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hi, it's Kieran here again with Brutally Delicious, reviewing Hulder's sophomore full-length Verses in Oath. Hulder is a one-woman black metal act who has been making waves in the community the past few years. After releasing her debut in 2021, she spent the next few years refining her craft by way of a series of singles and an EP, and it feels like this album is a natural refinement of her work so far. Although I often see her billed as a US black metal act, Hulder is really an American transplant by way of Belgium. Her sound is firmly rooted in the cold roots of Europe, and particularly Scandinavian black metal. But that's not to say the forest landscapes of Portland, where she now resides, don't inform her sound. Hulder's style has shades of early Enslaved and Emperor, but it has that rustic, folky edge not dissimilar to a US act like Panopticon. Hulder has cultivated a strong image within black metal, interweaving her music and aesthetic into a captivating package that nods to European acts of the past, while staying fresh amongst a crop of benchmark new bands, and an audience that demands the paradoxical balance of homage and innovation. Touching again on the meeting of old and new, Hulder embraces a dark medieval backdrop for her music, and is dedicated to this mystical aesthetic in dress, imagery, and art. This dedication to theatricality reminds me of Anila of Darkened Nocturne, Slaughter Cult, and Bethlehem. Hulder's vision is fully realised and shines through in her sound, which is polished and boasts high production value, while losing none of the cathartic ferocity and endearing mystique that lies at black metal's core. While her composition has always been strong, there is a cinematic feeling to Verses in Oath that makes the arcane riffs soar higher than ever before, and the fuller bass rounds out the sound nicely. In a world of one-man projects, they certainly aren't uncommon in the black metal sphere. However, these projects are usually on the more raw and simplistic side of the blackened coin. It's truly impressive how fleshed out Hulder's sound is this time around, and every instrumental performance showcased here is top-notch. The album gallops out the gate with vigour, with a hail of blistering blast beats and powerful deep vocals. The album has a mood that's brooding and mystical, but the riffs are foremost triumphant and galloping, stained with a dark melancholy, yet still striding with conviction. Hulder's vocal performance is nothing short of formidable on this album, as her roars are at the foremost of the attack. The instrumentation is big and beefy, but her roars are always commanding in the mix. Her deep and powerful vocal style reminds me immediately of bands like Hate Forest, who utilise a bestial lower register that wouldn't feel out of place in a death metal band. Although Hulder's ferocious vocals are one of her biggest strengths, she also peppers her songs across the album with gorgeous singing, including an interlude track that entirely showcases these haunting clean vocals. The chanted sung vocals echo like a ghostly hymn and accent the instrumentation very well. Lamentation, the first of the two back-to-back interlude tracks, features a warbled, ghostly, operatic sample, and it's followed by an offering, which gives Hulder's own singing the spotlight, providing foreboding yet angelic layered harmonies amidst the climactic build of synth. Interludes aren't always used to an album's benefit, particularly the uninspired, arbitrary, ambient intros that many black metal bands feel compelled to use. However, these two tracks are effective in amplifying the mood before charging back into the fray. Ambient synth lines provide eerie atmosphere to the onslaught throughout the album, while lending to the medieval tone. Some of the synth sounds throughout the album have a medieval timbre, much like a sombre lute being played in the deep chambers of a dark castle. The use of symphonic and folk elements are handled very tastefully throughout the album, both being ingredients that can, in my opinion, easily sour a black metal potion if not used thoughtfully. Hulder manages to balance them very competently and presents an extremely cohesive project that shines in its sincerity and attention to detail. There are moments of beauty and savagery aplenty for all ends of the black metal spectrum, and Verses in Oath is Hulder at her most approachable yet. Even though on paper this is still by all means an up and down black metal album, I can definitely see metal fans of all preference enjoying and appreciating this album. This has been Kieran back again with Brutally Delicious. Cheers.